Hello, this is Molly from Lessons by Molly. I'm here today to read to you one of my fall narratives. This one is called Fall Mishaps. And when I get finished, I'm going to share with you 3 classical children's games that can be modified for a fall theme. But first, Fall Mishaps. An apple fell from high in the tree, bounced on my head. Oh, woe is me. A squirrel grabbed seeds full of greed, while an angry bird chirped, "That's my feed." I baked a pie, but to my dismay, it came out burnt. It's not my day. The leaves were raked, neat in a pile, until my dog jumped in with style. The air is cold. I shiver with dread. I wish I'd brought my sweater instead. Lost in a maze, like in a trap. I should have kept my handy map. The scarecrow frowns, not doing his job, as the crows just squawk and mob. I took a bite of an apple so bright, but out popped a worm. What a fright. And that was Fall Mishaps. Happy fall. I hope you're enjoying the first day of fall. So now I want to get down to the 3 games that I have for you. The first one is based on pin the tail on the donkey. But in this game, it's pin the deciduous leaf on the deciduous tree, or just pin the leaf on the tree. You need to use green bulletin board paper to make your crown and leaves, and brown bulletin board paper to make the trunk of your tree. And then you'll need to give each child a leaf cut out. You'll need to have a blindfold, spin them around, and let them stick their leaf on the tree. If you don't want to take the time to make or cut out trees, I would just use some decorative leaves. They are selling these all over the place right now, and you could give each of your students one of these. I would label it with their name first. When you do the pin the leaf on the tree, you can talk to them about where their leaf ended up, whether it's a leaf flying in the air, floating in the air, one that's on the ground, one that ended up on the trunk of the tree, or one that actually ended up in the tree leaves. But in that game, there's no winner or loser. There's no specific target of where you're trying to get your leaf on the tree. The next activity that I want to share with you is called Scarecrow Tag. And in Scarecrow Tag, here's my little scarecrow. In Scarecrow Tag, one child is it. And for this game, you probably want to use the gym or have access to the gym or an outdoor space. That child that's the it is the scarecrow, an animated scarecrow. And you might want to have him or her wear a farmer's hat or carry around one of these little scarecrow figurines. The other children are the crows, and they're trying to stay away from the scarecrow. If they get tagged, they become a scarecrow, but not animated. So if you have your children do this, you might want to direct them just to have their arms stretched down low. Otherwise, their arm muscles are probably going to get pretty sore from stretching them up like a scarecrow. You can add another option in that game where the remaining crows can release a scarecrow and turn them back to a crow by tagging them. And at this point, too, I've shared with you 2 games. I just want to emphasize that when you're playing any of these games or with any game with a child, you want to end the activity before they've had enough. You want to end it before they're tired of it. And that way, they will look forward to the game if you do a replay. So you want it to end with, oh, we want to do some more. You don't want it to end where they've really had enough. So just keep that in mind. Then the final game that I have for you is a version of Duck, Duck, Goose. Only in this game, it is called Corn, Corn, Crow. If you've ever played Duck, Duck, Goose, you know that sometimes the child that's running around the circle does not remember where he's supposed to go back to. He doesn't recall the empty space. So it's always a good idea to have a place marker. In this game of Corn, Corn, Crow, you might want to have the students that are in the circle holding an ear of corn or a paper ear of corn, and that can be their place marker for if they're the one that's running around the circle, the person that's being chased knows they need to go sit where the ear of corn is. So in this game, you can use a black beanbag to represent the crow. And the person that's going around saying crow, 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 saying corn, 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 crow, drops the black beanbag in front of the child that's going to be the one that needs to get up and start running. If you don't have a beanbag, I do have an alternative that you can do. You can use just a plain black sock and you can just drop the sock. You can also be a little more fancy with the sock, and I'll show you that in a second. But when the children are being chased, you can make, if they can't get back to where the ear of corn is, you can create a penalty if you'd like. And the penalty is that they have to become a scarecrow, and the rest of the gym is the cornfield, and they have to find a place in the gym to stand as a scarecrow. Or you don't have to have a penalty. So if you want to use a black sock but need it to have a little more weight on it, I do have this sock that I've wrapped around a glass jar, and I have some kernels of popcorn. So what you would do is you would just fill your sock with the popcorn kernels, and you need a good amount. I'm going to try to fill it up pretty high here. All right, and then when I'm satisfied with the amount, I'm just going to take the sock off the jar, and I'm going to tie a knot tightly. And then if I want extra security, I can roll the end. I can roll this end of the sock around it like this. Okay. And if you want to get fancy, you can get some sticky wiggly eyes and stick them on, and that can be your representation of the crow. I hope you enjoyed hearing about these 3 classical children's games that can be modified for fall, and I hope you enjoyed the storyboard narrative called Fall Mishaps. That's all for now. Bye.